Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, JJ Wilson. I'm going to be coming at you with another review based off the series Gangsta. This is a side manga called Gangsta Cursed, and this is based on the life of Marco Adriano when he was a destroyer. And so in the prologue it leaves off with Marco talking with Warwick. Warwick is delivering the Cristiano family a package. So I think that was part of their job that day. They were going around town giving all the different heads, all the different leaders of the families packages. And so Ward goes ahead and leaves off, and Galahad comes through and he sees the handyman with the new girl, and he's asking Marco about the new girl. Hey, she's kind of cute. Who is that, Marco? And then, but of course Marco doesn't say anything, and Galahad also mentions a case that Marco is involved in, but he's not listening at all. Instead, he's looking down at his hand, I guess looking at the package as well, and he's remembering his past. He's remembering his life as a destroyer, and this is the part where he's covered up in blood, and all of his hands are dirty and stuff from the blood. So that's where that panel leaves off, and basically the rest of the panels is just everything that's about to take place within the next 4 chapters, pretty much. It goes to where the destroyers are killing off Twilights, to the 3 of the 4 families that we see there, including Loretta's father, Luca. And then we also hear about the voice telling this is kind of funny part to me, like the voice telling the destroyers that the Twilights aren't humans, and if it smells like a Twilight, you need to kill it. If it looks like a Twilight, you need to kill it. And basically, if it lasts like a Twilight, you need to kill it too. So it just kept repeating the word "kill it." I couldn't help but think about like a hip hop song or a beat going to that, just saying "kill it," like for every verse or every chorus. And then the next funny part in that prologue was, seeing Stryker killing off a gang of Twilights, and he's telling Marco, "Hey, look, Marco, it's a mountain full of shit. It's a mountain of shit." He's telling that to Marco, and he's like, Marco can't help but look at him crazy, like, man, this dude lost his mind. I was like, man. And then later on, it goes back to that voice, and it keeps telling Marco, or Spies, that's his destroyer named Spies, that the Twilights are correct. I mean, not the Twilights, the destroyers are correct, and that the Twilights, they're monsters and they have to be eliminated. And then we see one panel with Galahad. He's holding the hand of a little baby, and that might be Loretta there. I'm pretty sure it is. It might have been assigned to kind of look after the baby while I guess her father's off to, do his duties to help all the Twilights who can't fight for themselves or whatnot. So that's probably what that is. And then the voice, it kind of mixes up here. I'm not even sure if this is the same voice, but then it's telling Spies that his name will now be Marco Adriano, and he can't escape from it. He can't take it away. He can't throw it away, and that he has to live with this shame. He has to live with this regret. It's like it's that type of curse for you. And we also see that he's kind of holding hands with a familiar arm, which is Connie's arm, I believe. And then we see her as a younger girl. She's crying over the death of her parents, and Marco has to be standing right over there, and he's witnessing that. So we'll have to see what that's all about later. And then finally the prologue just ends with Marco, I won't forgive you. And then he's laying on the ground, and you finally see that scar that he currently has, that newly shaped form scar on his face that he still has to this day. So that was the end of the prologue. Now we go into chapter 1 here. Okay, yeah, it starts off with the destroyers. They're about to enter the city of Agasalum. They're getting ready to begin their mission to kill off all these Twilights and everything. Eradicate any Twilight in sight. That's their mission. And so we go into the town, and Marco's the first one to showcase his skills because he uses those wires off his gauntlet. He has like a gauntlet in his right hand, I believe, and he uses his left hand to kind of control all the wires. And he's slicing and dicing all these pack of Twilights, about 3 of them, with ease. And then next we see Stryker. He basically uses his fist to fight. Stryker likes to punch a lot. But we also see he uses tonfas in the back too, which he rarely uses because he's so damn freakishly strong anyway. So, but he will use it later on in the series. He's just not using it right now. And we see Beretta, a younger teenage version of Beretta. She uses a whip. She uses a whip-like chain that has like spikes on the side of it. And she's slicing and dicing Twilights with that. And we see Mini-Me, this other Twilight. He's kind of had long hair, and he looks like part of his face is burned, and even his left eye is damaged, kinda. But part of his face is burned. And he uses fire. He uses flammable gloves to make fire blasts, and he's pretty much roasting. that word's getting used a lot in this particular chapter. Roasting. He's pretty much roasting Twilights, man. He's cooking them up. He's making human steaks out of them. That's what he's doing, man. He's cooking Twilights, and he also has blades that he uses, and you'll get to see that later in the chapter. And finally, we have the unsung leader of this group, the second destroyer's Maverick. And to me, man, this girl she's pretty much a rich girl's version of Erica, man. Like, you remember how raw Erica was in the when we read the main manga, Gangsta, and also in the anime. You remember how raw she was fighting off Nick and things like that, man. This woman this chick Maverick is better. She's even greater than that, man. She's that damn good. She, like Erica, she uses a sword to kill off her enemies. I think it's a little bit bigger too. And she has incredible speed, man. The way this girl fights is insane. And once again, we hear the voice is telling the destroyers to once again you need to kill all Twilights. They gotta be eliminated. Destroy them at all costs. And things like that. We are correct. You know, they can't live with normals. They just can't. And so we cut to the next part, the next important part here. Stryker is stomping the crap out of the headless remains of a female Twilight, and he's still doing it. And then, you know, Spies later, he sees that, Marco, he sees that, he's telling Stryker, hey, cut it out, man, stop playing, quit bullshitting. You know, we got bigger things to worry about than just killing all Twilights. And Stryker's like, man, he's like, what are you talking about, man? What are you telling me to stop for? You trying to feel pity for these motherfuckers? He's like, and then, yeah, Spies is basically telling him, no, this is bigger than the mission, so we can't waste time, and things like that. So Beretta comes in and is like, hey, come on, Stryker, why don't you just play with me? You know, we got better things to do than just argue with him. And then Stryker's like, yeah, you're right, let's go. And they just turn around and walk off. And then Maverick comes in with those nice high heels she wears. You know, she's pretty much there to comfort Spies. And I think, you know, Spies kind of respects her a lot. She was asking what was the matter, and, you know, Spies told him, hey, Stryker and Beretta, they're not focused, man. They just want to play. They don't understand the importance of the mission. It's like, Maverick's like, well, they can take care of themselves. They're kids, but, you know, they know how to handle themselves. And then she notices that Spies has some blood on his face, and then she proceeds to wipe it off. And then Spies, interestingly enough, calls her Marie. So that implies that's her real name, Marie, and Maverick's simply a nickname. But yeah, Maverick's like, you know, after she cleans up, you know, I can't afford to lose you. You're very important to us all. You know, I'm counting on you. And, you know, of course, Spies likes that a lot. You know, he's getting this attention from this the older leader of the destroyers here, the beautiful Maverick. And then she tells that there's a pack of Twilights that ran off, and she wants Spies to go after them. And then from there, she almost gets killed by a Twilight, but Mini-Me comes in time and he roasts the shit out of this dude, man. And Maverick is like, well done. I'm glad you got rid of the trash, because it was nasty. It was disgusting. So we go to the next scene. We cut to the estate of Daniel Monroe, and of course Daniel Monroe is looking younger because this is like, of course, 15 years prior to the current events going on in the main manga. And he's talking. It looks like he's talking with Miles, along with Nick and Wart, the future handyman. But right now in this manga, they're subordinates to, they're working under Monroe. And we see that Nick has a tag. His current rank in that tag is a class B and it's rank 5. So that's where he stands as a teenager. So he's quite strong. Nicholas is quite strong, Nicholas Brown, but we could tell he's not an A rank character like we see in the main manga. He clearly is not. So I think that's his true ranking, B5. And they're talking about the raid going on A Street. That's where the current raid is. That's where the destroyers are right now. And of course, Monroe, being aware of that, he says, yeah, take all the natural safety precautions. You know, collect as much info on these guys as possible. And yeah, he suspected that, yeah, these guys are hunters because they're too damn skilled to just kill Twilights and do it so damn efficiently. You know, they're definitely not in the, your ordinary hunters here. And so next we cut back down into the city. We see that Stryker, he got separated from Beretta, and he's fighting off 2 Twilights, and one of them almost shoots him in the head, but he's fast enough to dodge that shit. And then later on, he's able to grab one of the Twilights, and he's like, man, is that all you got? I hope you guys can do better than those guys on 8th Street. That's pretty much what I like to see. And so we cut to Spies, and he finally catches up to the family that was running away, and they're hiding in the warehouse. And he goes in there. He opens up he pulls up the door, the garage door, and he sees that there's a female and her daughter. And they're trying to hide from him because they're obviously scared for their lives. And the next you know, a guy starts attacking Spies, and he dodges it, and then he was able to subdue the man. And then the guy, he was about to kill the woman and the daughter, but then the dude grabs his ankle. But then he kicks the man's hand off, and he stomps on the guy's hand. But then he notices that this guy doesn't smell like the daughter or the woman, and he's asking the man, hey, what? You're a normal, right? So why are you protecting these things? These things called Twilights. Why are you trying to help these dudes out? Why are you trying to help them out? And the man's like, that's my family. What's wrong with protecting family? And from that moment, you know, Marco, you start to see a sense of doubt in his face. Like you start to see like a bit of shock, really. Like what did this guy just say? Twilights living with normals? Like what the fuck? So yeah, when he's kind of at a loss for words there, in a state of shock, and then the guy tries to attack him, but he's able to snap out of it and dodge away. And then he doesn't do anything, and you know, this normal's about to attack him again, and then next thing you know, the normal gets stabbed. The normal father, he gets stabbed by Maverick. I mean, Maverick does this guy dirty. She stabs him with her sword and then slices him in half upwards. Like she cuts him in half upwards, and that shit was just crazy. And so Marco's seeing that, it's like, holy crap. You know, he couldn't do anything because he was so lost at the way he just heard from this guy. And of course Maverick sees that, and she's like, are you okay, Spies? Are you alright? And she said, it's not like you to be flustered by a normal's attack, so it must have been something else. She's like, stay focused, you know, get yourself together, only think about the mission. You know, and then it cuts to a scene where Marco is younger, and it looks like he's surrounded by dead bodies. I'm not sure who those people are. But yeah, he's thinking about the time, once again, he's hearing that voice in his head. It's like, hey, and remember, Twilights are the bad guys. They're the enemies. They're the monsters. They can't live with normals. And then later on, it cuts to another scene where he's actually looking up. He's looking down, and he's looking up, and he sees a younger Maverick staring at him, and she's smiling at him, and then he smiles back. So it looks like he had help. I don't know if he killed those people or not, but it looks like he had help anyways from Maverick, because she's holding a knife, and it's all bloodied up, from what I can tell. And so, yeah, Marco Spies, in that current scene, he has his eyes closed, and then he opens them back up. And then Beretta meets up with Maverick later on. She sees Maverick, and she's like, yeah, I got separated from Stryker, so I'm glad I bumped into you. And then Mini-Me is on a roof, and he notices some intruders come about, and it looks like they're Twilights, and the way they're dressed up, it looks like they're from the guild. They're from the Poppy Guild. They try to shoot at Maverick and Beretta, but Mini-Me is there to stop them. And of course, Beretta's loving that. It's like, oh, Mini-Me, that was so cool. That was so awesome the way you blocked those bullets. And yeah, so even Maverick suspects that by their wardrobe, the Twilight's wardrobe, that they are from the guild. And she's like, yeah, I don't care who the fuck these guys are. We need to kill them off. We're going to continue the mission. We're not going to stop. You can't stop us, so that's that. And so she's calling out for spies, and he's still in the warehouse, and he just killed the daughter and the mother after pretty much renewing his vow to eradicate all Twilights, according to the voice. And so it ends with Maverick, Maverick, Beretta, Mini-Me, and spies. They all starting to attack the mercenary guild. And that's where the chapter ends, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop out in the comment section. If you have any questions or you want more details about this anime or manga, I will put a description in the description box. I will put a link there showing you where I found these chapters, Gangsta Cursed. So yeah, I'll be sure to do that if you want to continue reading. I think throughout the next several days, or even maybe next several weeks, I'll go ahead and put a review for each chapter that comes out. Because looks like it's not over yet. It stopped at volume 4, but I'm pretty sure there's definitely a lot more to it than that. Because I know this manga is not over yet. Seems like it might be more than one volume as well. But I'm gonna go by chapter with this side manga here. It's looking real good so far, man. Marco's definitely a spies in this one. He's definitely one of my favorite characters in Gangsta. But yeah, he has a very cool fighting style, and he seems to be a real stand-up guy. And of course, in this version, he's a straight-up beast for right now, anyway. But yeah, this is where he's gonna start to change and become the cool, calm, collected Marco we know today. So, thanks, guys. Once again, leave your comments if you like the review. Subscribe if you want to hear more reviews coming from me as well. And I'll check you guys later. Thanks.